What's interesting about this is that the idea of eating 3 meals a day is a pretty modern phenomenon. Very modern phenomenon. Never did Gaelic people eat 3 meals a day. In fact, I'm going to say, and if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm going to say that ancient Gaelic man ate maybe once a day, maybe even 3 times a week, maybe sometimes twice a day, depending on what time of the year it was. It would have been pretty with the seasons. So in the winter there would have been meat around, and in the summer we would have had apples and some other things besides meat. But we certainly would have, without fridges, without ovens, without modern food methods that puts all chemicals into food to make sure that it never ever deteriorates and lasts for a very, very long time. Without all of that, there's no way the Gaelic man would have woken up first thing and eaten breakfast, and he certainly wouldn't have eaten a bowl of sugar. Certainly wouldn't have eaten a bowl of sugar. So I'm going to say that fasting, that some kind of fasting, is the natural state for the Gaelic man. And you can look at this and you can look at me and you can say, hey Alan, you don't look like you've missed all your meals. Absolutely. Absolutely. The videos I make here are me learning. It's a learning. This is me documenting my learning. This is me trying to understand and document my learning. So that's why I'm so excited, the fact that I have really, really clever people in my comments that watch these videos and they comment and they let me know when I'm wrong and they encourage me when I'm right. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that because I know of smarter people than me that watch these videos. The whole point of it. That's the whole point of it. This is me documenting my learning, and I'm never saying that I'm always right, because I'm not always right. But I'm going to say that the ancient Gaelic man did not eat 3 meals a day and did not eat breakfast. Never had breakfast. And where breakfast came from is Kellogg. Obviously, Kellogg is pretty much associated with breakfast. But Kellogg was a very, very religious man. And he felt that he had an issue. He didn't feel like men's sex drive was spiritual. In fact, he felt that if he could destroy men's sex drive, that would make them more spiritual. Now, this isn't the ancient Gaelic way. The ancient Gaelic people had no problem with the male sex drive. That was a natural part of life. But he felt like if he could feed them very plain food, that would change the male sex drive. And then later on, sugar was brought in. It was just made out of sugar then, so it wasn't so plain anymore. But it wasn't any more nutritious for you. And that's where Kellogg came from. That was Kellogg's philosophy. So now waking up and eating a bowl of sugar, I'm suggesting that it's not necessarily the best thing for us to be doing. And as Gaelic people, we've disconnected from the way we used to eat, but we can take inspiration from other cultures. And I know people don't like me mentioning Islam, but Ramadan is something that we can take inspiration from. And we can also take inspiration from Jesus going 40 days and 40 nights without food. And I'm not suggesting we go 40 days and 40 nights without food, but I am suggesting that breakfast isn't natural. We don't need breakfast. And we should eat what is natural to Ireland, which is not bananas, which is not exotic fruits. It's nice to have some exotic fruit every now and again. But, blackberry and apple is very, very... And venison, deer, an animal, the best steak in the world, the best butter in the world, the best cheese in the world, is all natural to Ireland. And I'm going to suggest that that's what we should be eating. Fasting can be a spiritual practice. Fasting is practiced in almost all religions. I mentioned the 40 days and 40 nights for Jesus. where Lent comes from. I mentioned Ramadan, and I don't know about the Bhagavad Gita and some other spiritual practices, Buddhism, whatever, but I'm sure that fasting is in almost every spiritual practice. Fasting is really, really important, and we can take inspiration from that. And fasting, I'm going to say, is a good way. So, I don't know if you notice this, but good things are beginning to come into your life. Your life is getting better. The things you wanted are starting to show up. The seeds, which have been germinated under the ground for so long, are starting to sprout now, have you noticed? And a good way to say thank you, a good way to say thank you to your warrior spirit or the goddess Eru. There's many ways to do it, but one of the ways is to fast. You can obviously give money to a beggar. You can give money to a cause that you think is important. You can exercise as a way of saying thank you, but you can also fast. Fasting is a great way to say thank you to your warrior spirit and the goddess Eru. It's a great way. Fasting is also a great way. It's for health wise. It's incredible for health. Incredible for health. Whatever illness you have, try fasting. It costs absolutely nothing. In fact, it's going to save you quite a bit of money. Try fasting for your health. If you have a very serious illness, try fasting first. It cleans out your body. And all of those helper cells, all those repairer cells will go all around your body and fix all the issues, and give you incredible mental clarity and also make you feel incredible. You will feel incredible. Now, I know I've tried fasting a little bit and you get hungry. There's a hunger pain that comes up, but it goes away. It's there for half an hour, and it bothers me because, I'm working and I want to focus on work, and I'm like, oh, I've got this hunger pain. But it goes away. After about a half an hour, and you forget all about it. Comes and it goes. It's just your body telling you, hey, maybe now is a good time to eat. But you can override that. You can say, okay, maybe now is a good time to eat, but I'm going to eat later in a couple of hours. So it's important health-wise to improve your body and to make you feel incredible. So I want to ask you, because I'm doing it, I want you to join me in trying out some fast. And whether that's just skipping breakfast and having your first meal about 1 o'clock, or whether that's intermittent fasting, whether that's fasting over a couple of days. I'm going to try, I'm afraid to say this because I probably won't do it, but I'm going to try an apple fast for 2 or 3 days where I just have an apple in the morning. And that's all I have for the day. And I feel like apples have always grown naturally in Ireland. I feel like an apple connects me to the goddess Eru and to the earth. And I'll try an apple in the morning and nothing else for the rest of the day. And maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I'm not saying any of us is perfect, but it's a good thing to try. I want you to invite you to try this fast. Whether it's an apple fast, whether it's a complete fast, whether it's a water fast. If you're having a water fast, get some good Celtic salt. Have that with your water. So some Celtic salt onto your hand, into your mouth, and just drink the water with that. And you do need your salts. But I want to invite you to try a Gaelic fast with me.